You grow up in Birmingham, when the sky is the color of factory smoke and ambition tastes like iron. Your father worked the docks until his hands split. Not cruel, just tired. Same boots every day. Same silence at dinner. Your mother stitched uniforms for men who thought they were important. You learn early that power isn't loud, it's quiet. It walks into a room and everyone adjusts without being told. You watch your father shrink in rooms owned by other men. You watch your mother lower her eyes when landlords speak. You memorize those moments. Not the humiliation, the hierarchy. At 13, you start running errands for bookmakers. At 15, you carry messages for men who don't write things down. At 17, you learn how to hold a razor between two fingers and make it disappear into a cap. Not because you enjoy violence, because hesitation is expensive. You study faces the way other boys study football scores. Who flinches, who lies, who calculates. You realize most men are predictable when pressure is applied correctly. The first time you spill blood, it isn't dramatic. It's an alley dispute over territory that doesn't even belong to you. The other boy swings first. You don't swing back. You step inside the arc and end it quickly. You don't feel powerful. You feel efficient. That difference is what gets you noticed. A man in a tailored coat watches from across the street. He doesn't clap. He doesn't smile. He memorizes you. That's how you meet the boss. He doesn't recruit you. He tests you. Small jobs, deliveries, collections, standing behind him during meetings and saying nothing. You become furniture, silent, useful, unavoidable. You don't talk much. You observe. You notice who hesitates before answering him. You notice who drinks too much. You notice which captains need praise and which need fear. You begin predicting arguments before they happen. You learn that loyalty is rarely about love. It's about dependency. The boss provides income, protection, identity, and cracks appear. You don't crave attention. You crave leverage. Within 3 years, you are no longer the boy in the alley. You are the man at the boss's right hand. When he enters a room, they look at him. When decisions are made, they glance at you. You become the correction. If a bookmaker skims, you visit. If a rival threatens, you respond. If a soldier doubts, you remove the doubt. You never raise your voice. You never overreact. You enforce structure, and structure feels clean. You convince yourself it's loyalty. You tell yourself you are protecting something larger than you, a family, an order, but proximity to power changes your appetite. The boss grows older, not weaker, just slower. You start mapping the organization in your head, revenue streams, territories, weak links. You calculate which captains are assets and which are liabilities. You see inefficiencies the way a mechanic hears engine misfires. You begin seeing flaws in his moves. Deals taken too cautiously, enemies allowed to breathe, opportunities missed because pride wouldn't bend. You don't resent him, you outgrow him. The shift doesn't happen overnight. It happens in silence. You start speaking to captains alone. Not about rebellion, about efficiency, about the future. You ask careful questions. You listen more than you talk. You let them speak first. People trust the man who lets them hear their own ideas out loud. Some of them lean toward you, not because they hate him, because they sense inevitability. They sense generational change. They sense momentum. Ambition is a slow infection. It feels like clarity. The night you choose is deliberate. Warehouse by the canal, rain tapping against metal roofing. All captains present. You planned it carefully, half already aligned with you. The other half neutral. You calculated odds like an accountant balancing a ledger. You memorized exits. You step forward before the boss speaks. You don't shout, you don't threaten. You say calmly, "It's time." For a second, the room belongs to you. You see it in their faces, the shift, the possibility. Then the boss smiles, not surprised, not angry, prepared. Guns come up on both sides. You realize too late that the neutral captains weren't neutral. They were waiting. Gunfire inside a warehouse sounds like thunder trapped in a box. Men you drank with fall at your feet. Every calculation collapses under new variables you didn't account for. Someone tips the police. Sirens cut through the rain faster than they should. The boss didn't just prepare for you, he prepared for the aftermath. If he couldn't keep control, he would burn the kingdom. Police flood the building, arrests, shots, chaos layered on chaos. The empire fractures in under an hour. You see captains dragged out in cuffs. You see men who swore loyalty give statements before the night is over. You escape through a side exit you memorized months ago. In the weeks that follow, the crackdown is relentless. The newspapers call it the fall of a criminal dynasty. They don't mention the internal fracture. They never do. The boss survives, barely. His power reduced but intact. Yours is erased. Not through defeat in combat, but through exposure. Your name becomes rumor, a cautionary tale. The right hand who reached too soon. You sit alone in a rented room overlooking the same industrial skyline you grew up under. The smoke hasn't changed. The sky is still iron. You replay it all. The story ends the way most empires do. Not with glory, not with redemption, but with a man alone in a room realizing that ambition, once revealed too early, becomes evidence. That's the cost of wanting the throne before the throne needs you.